In the northeast corner of Brookline, you'll find a great little neighborhood called Washington Square. Located at the intersection between Beacon Street and Washington Street, it's right on the Green Line towards Cleveland Circle. In 1657, Washington Street was laid out as the road to travel with cattle from Brookline Village to Watertown and Brighton. It was bought by John Robinson and Enoy Washington from Dorchester. They transformed the area by placing farms and grassy meadows there. Over the next 100 years, the neighborhood blossomed into an attractive residential area. It was especially popular with richer families who enjoyed the beautiful scenery along with the first electric streetcar in the world. The population rose from just 500 to 15,000 people, and it turned into the neighborhood that we know today. The area has a great mix of small local businesses and modern chains. With a wide variety, Washington Square is especially good for eating out. During the day, you'll find a lot of great cafes and coffee shops. One of these is a longtime Brookline resident, Hansen's.
This is a family business in Greece, and we decided to bring the concept here, and somehow we managed to bring this kind of European atmosphere in the neighborhood where people can sit down, enjoy a cup of coffee, a tea or dessert, and spend a couple of hours with friends, or take something to go home, or take something to take to somebody's house for a visit. We chose the area here because I knew the area. I lived in the area, and this was the most interesting space that I could find at the time. The building itself is very interesting architecturally. It's a very old building, and it was in a very, very extremely bad shape, and gave us the opportunity to somehow to bring out its beauty. And we started with half the space. We didn't have the cafe here, and when the opportunity arose, we expanded, and we have the cafe for people to come and enjoy the desserts, and we do have like some sandwiches and some panini and salads. There is a little for everybody. I don't think people would come in and not find something that to please them. The key words was quality. 98% of what we sell in our store we make from scratch in our workshop in Brighton. We never used ingredients that they don't come directly from nature. Because my motto is, whatever something is in the bag and you don't see what's in there, beware.
During the evening, you'll find a wide variety of places to go out for dinner or just for drinks.
Almost pushing 9.5 years now. So it opened in 2002 in June. Business is a restaurant and bar specializing in beer. We have about 35 draft lines, and at any time anywhere from 150 to 200 different bottled beers. We specialize in the great beers of Belgium, as well as a whole host of terrific American craft brews, and just pretty much any good beer from anywhere around the world. We try to be sort of the cream of the crop, and certainly we've won all sorts of awards. We've gotten write-ups, left and right, and I think we just offer, like a number of other places in the square, we just offer something that at a really, really high level, and I think that the people in the neighborhood really appreciate that. We do a lot of what they call cuisine à la bière, which means we incorporate beer into cooking, whether it's sauce or a marinade or some other way to flavor. Certainly have a lot of traditional Belgian food items in addition to the beer, like mussels with fries, meatloaf, meatballs, croquettes. I would say the bulk of our customers is sort of ordinary people. Ordinary just in terms of not having any specialized beer knowledge. People who may just out of curiosity want to come in and see what we have to offer. all the time. I mean, as bartenders and servers here, constantly, every single night we get asked for help, suggestions, whether it's a particular beer or a style of beer, or questions about ingredients, or I've never heard of any of these beers you have on your list, can you help me? You know, we're all happy to do that here. We have to be sort of the ambassadors. You know, it's certainly one of the perks of the job is having to do all that research. And another thing I take great pride in, and all of us do here, is just being a really good, sort of comfortable, friendly neighborhood spot, offering the neighborhood just a place they can kind of come as they are and be very relaxed and be welcomed and have a great time. It's a lot of fun being part of a place that has such a strong identity with the square and with the neighborhood.
I think it's lovely. It's got a mix of kind of, you know, the old kind of Connolly hardware and this sort of new, hipper places. So I think it's a nice mix, great charm to the place.
I think it's cute and quaint and has kind of like an older feel to it. Like, it reminds me kind of how neighborhoods of the past probably looked.
We opened 10 years ago. We just celebrated our 10th anniversary. I wanted to celebrate sort of the bounty of where we're from. I didn't see anybody cooking good New England food, and I wanted to also just really support local farmers and fishermen. And I also really wanted to do wood-burning cooking. And I was fortunate enough to find a location in Brookline, you know, where I had lived a couple times in my life. So what we do is we try to take the early colonial influences, British cuisine with Native American, and we fuse the two of those as colonists did. I try to really be much more about the farms and the ingredients than about esoteric, chef-driven creations. I think that the fireplace is really a destination culturally, intellectually, and in terms of just being a warm gathering place for friends. One of my favorite things is the live music that we have here. We started out with live jazz on Wednesday nights, and then I decided to add Latin. The music starts at 9:30, it usually goes till midnight. And we're also, I think, a place where people can come and learn. You know, we've got these fireside chats where you can learn all about wines and spirits. We have our huge Latin dance and music festival. You can come for lunch, brunch, or dinner for the entire month of July, and you can dine like a president. I research presidents who hail from New England. President Obama, they sent me some of his recipes because President Obama's secretary is a Brookline girl. So they sent me a letter making an argument for why the president should be considered a New Englander, you know, because he did go to Harvard and he lived in Somerville. I thought when the commander-in-chief sends you his recipes and, you know, asks you to cook them, you cook them. So we had a peach pie of his that's insane. And then we do some that are history-based. A couple weeks before Valentine's Day, we do John and Abigail Adams love letter readings in front of the fireplace. And so I bring in reenactors, and they read these love letters, which are wonderful. And then we serve colonial cocktails and dishes from Abigail Adams' family recipes or from Thomas Jefferson's White House. And I bring in Minutemen, the Fife and Drum Corps, and it's really great.
I think there's a good blend of residential things as well as kind of like small local businesses. So there's a lot of stuff that's very close by and it's easy to find things and it still has a lot of character.
The place has been a video store since the way back. As far as what might set us apart from sort of standard video stuff, it's not the category of stuff, it's what's within the category. We have tens of thousands of movies in every imaginable category. I would describe it as a movie geek's hideaway, sort of like a bookstore or a movie boutique for the young family that wants to come in and get entertainment for everybody. You can escape from this place for under $20 and get, you know, a movie for X and such, a game for little Joey, something for the parents to enjoy. It's just loaded. One service we provide is the new stuff for those that would rather bodily shop for merchandise rather than deal with a vending machine or a website. Netflix and Redbox have to wait an extra month for release after video stores get them. So, for example, you know, when Harry Potter came out, we had it a month before. There aren't that many communities left that have places like this. So at this point, if we could be wealthy on love alone, we'd be looking real good right now. We get a lot of positive votes, verbal support, well wishes from the community.
It strikes such a nice balance of being a neighborhood where there's stuff to do, but at the same time is a little bit on the quieter side and a little more residential focus.
I do live in Washington Square, right across from Super Fusion Sushi.
This corner always fascinated me. I just really like the neighborhood feel of Washington Square.
For us here, it's a very warm neighborhood. It has a lot of options.
I've been doing business here on and off for many, many years, and I love coming here. It's a great neighborhood.
It has like a surprisingly small town feel for being just like 2 stops from Boston.
I certainly am not familiar with every neighborhood in Boston, but it's just, there are a few that I can think of off the top of my head that just have such a diversity of people.
It's a beautiful place to hang around and come and enjoy and have a quiet evening or morning or whatever. There's so many beautiful businesses.